Standing on all observed protocols, I salute guests, participants, and members of the press. My thanks to EcoSave Initiative, all sponsors of and participants in this program, for giving me the opportunity to share a few thoughts with you all. My remarks will be brief but pointed. As you are already aware, today is World Environmental Day. In celebrating this day, we do so in memoriam of a renowned Nigerian environmental activist and our hero, Kenule Beson Sarawiwa. He fought and died for the environment, especially the Ogoni environment, which was polluted by Shell's decades of senseless and insensitive oil exploitation. The effect of environmental bastardization on the world and Ogoni are not just a telltale, they are real. We see and feel them every day, from our farms to our forests, from our rivers to our homes, and from rainwaters to the air we breathe. Man-made or nature-made, our environment is in prison. So are more than 8 billion people worldwide. This is concerning, right? Of course. If it is concerning, there is then need for us to act. Let me just reference the biblical story of Moses and the burning bush. You all know the story, and so I'm not going to tell all of it. But I want to pick out something. We are told that when Moses was face to face with the burning bush, there was a voice that said, Moses, take off your sandals, for where you stand is a holy ground. Remember? That's exactly what it is. Where you stand is a holy ground. What am I trying to point at? We have seen that environmental pollution, environmental degradation, the bastardization of the environment is a concern. But there must be somebody that needs to act, that needs to heed the call and act on the call. Liking where you sit today, or where you stand today, the Ken Sarawiwa Memorial Park, liken it to the burning bush. Liken the call to the man in whose memory we are celebrating this day. Like Moses, KSWMP heard the call to fight for the Ogoni environment, and he listened. He heeded it. He fought for it. And he died for it. That's his memorial that we see and that we are in, that we feel. So, well, while I will not say you should take off your shoes or your sandals or your canvases or anything you wear, I just want to remind you that where you stand today, marking this celebration, is a holy ground. And given what it is, given the circumstances in which we find ourselves today, we are called to action. We are called to duty. The duty to protect, to safeguard, to take care of our own space, our own environment. We have suffered decades of oil pollution. In the event of all this, you are witnesses. You might have read the stories of people who were killed. KSWMP and the Ogoni 9 were hanged. A lot of others were killed. Properties destroyed. Ogoni people went on exile. Why? Because we said the pollution that we are experiencing and getting nothing out of but death was too much. There was a fight. The fight was not with guns. But it was a simple thing. Use what you are taking from our land to end the pollution. Find a way to do environmental impact assessment studies. Find a way to do social assessment studies so that you can know how to deal with the Ogoni people and the Ogoni environment, so that you can know how to take care of it. But did it happen? No, it didn't. Instead of doing the right thing, Shell, in collusion with the Nigerian government, decided to loot, to rape, to kill, to destroy. And a leader that was foremost in fighting for the environment was hanged alongside other activists. So you are there now. So as you celebrate today, I want you to remember this, that if Cain had decided to stay back and watch, nobody would have heard of whatever atrocities the oil companies were committing on the Ogoni and even other parts of the Niger Delta and Nigeria in general. In fact, everything about the environment would have been forgotten. Nobody would have spoken of it. But he took time off, laid down his life, sacrificed his resources, his family, and everything fighting to protect our environment. The justification is in the United Nations report. If you have not read it, find one and read. And if you have not read Ken's books, go and read them. That should tell you that where you are today and in this celebration of World Environmental Day, you are not where you are by accident. You are called. So what should you do? Swan once said that the mistake we make, I'm paraphrasing here, the mistake we make always, and the problem we have as human beings, is that we think so much that somebody else is going to do it for us. Nobody is going to do it for you if you don't do it. As a people, nobody will do it for you. If you cannot protect your environment, if you cannot protect your space, if you cannot work to ensure that your space is safe, you cannot survive. So here are my recommendations. You need to learn. You need to research into. You need to work towards everything the environment. You need to be a part of every movement that has to do with the environment. You need to stand up for what is right to protect your environment. Because if you protect your environment, you are ensuring survival. Ken said, this is the moment of truth. And the moment of truth is that you have to get up and act. The easy saying is, action speaks louder than words. What will history remember you of? Will history remember you for sitting down, forgetting, and thinking that somebody else will fight to protect your environment or your own space? Or will history remember you for standing up and fighting for the survival and ongoing movement for your environment? That's a great question. Ken Sarowiwa has played his part. Some of us, following his footsteps, we've played our part and continue to play. Probably today you will see a documentary that might be aired. It might or might not be aired today. We continue to play our part. Get up. Fight for your environment. Work for your environment. For that is the only way your environment can be saved. If not you, no other person. I remember a prominent television host who once said, you know what? When you think you are at the end of something, that is actually the time that you are at the beginning of it. And Ken Sarowiwa said, in almost everything he thought, He wrote, he said, pursue excellence. This is your time, because it is the beginning of something. And you need to pursue excellence so that you can achieve results. If the outcomes are against you, if the odds are against you, think of the outcome. Cain did not think of the odds. He thought of the outcomes. And that is why we memorize him. That is why we are here talking about him. That is why we associate him with the environment. That is why in Nigeria today, he is remembered as the father of the environment. It is left to you. But the point is, as our people will always say, don't say nobody told you. The Ogoni song says, Ake, Ake, Pia Ogoni, Ake. Ali yi na konyo uyazi yai. Nokba, Nokba, Pia Ogoni no akba. Nali yi na konyo uyazi yai. Sitam, Sitam, Pia Ogoni siatam. Nali yi na konyo uyazi yai. Beno, Beno, Pia Ogoni bebe. Nali yi na konyo uyazi yai. Look at these weddings and act. Thank you for giving me audience. May God bless you, and may God bless Ogoni. Bye-bye.